Emotionally unavailable.
Welcome to Emotionally Unavailable, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of emotional availability and intimacy. I'm your host, Melissa Hepner, and I can't tell you how excited I am to have you join me on this journey of self-discovery and connection. Whether you're navigating the complexities of relationships or exploring your own emotional landscape, this podcast is here to inspire, empower, and entertain. So get cozy and let's explore the depths of human emotions together. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Today's guest, oh my God, I had so much fun re-listening to this, but she's really cool. Like, want her to be my friend. Cool. We had a great conversation, very vibe. So I'm just going to read off her little thing. Today's guest is Katie MacLachlan, a business strategist with 16 plus years in leadership who helps entrepreneurs and creatives align their energy, brand, and timing for success using astrology. She's the creator of powerful astrological formulas like Outfit Alchemy, birth chart branding, and Little Luxuries that help people embody confidence and attract aligned opportunities. In this episode, we'll explore how astrology can be a practical tool for self-expression, business growth, and personal alignment. So Caitlin used to work for Elon Musk, and he fired her from Twitter during his takeover. She said it wasn't just a job loss, it was the kick out of the nest she had been resisting for years. She spent decades in business leadership, building strategies and structures that made other people successful, but deep down, she was operating in resistance, not alignment. She knew she was meant for something bigger, something more intuitive, expansive, and in sync with how she actually wanted to live, and that's when she fully stepped into what she had been doing behind the scenes for years, helping entrepreneurs, creatives, and leaders align their business and lives using astrology, because success just isn't about strategy. It's about energy, timing, and alignment. The work she does now and why it's valuable is astrology isn't just a tool for self-discovery. It's a practical framework for making aligned decisions instead of forcing what's not working, building a brand and presence that magnetizes the right opportunities, tapping into confidence and self-expression in a way that feels effortless. So she has formulas to help people harness their power, like dopamine dressing, using your birth chart to define your personal style as an energetic signature, birth chart branding, aligning your brand identity, messaging, and presence with your astrology, Little Luxuries, turning everyday rituals into confidence building practices that shift your mindset and energy. Anyway, Caitlin's great. I had a great time with her. I will make sure to include her Instagram and her website in the show notes. And then she's also got a link that is the Divine CEO Quiz, a free tool designed to help entrepreneurs and creatives discover their unique leadership archetype, which is valuable because it provides personalized insights on how they naturally operate in business, decision-making, and visibility so that you can align your energy, brand, and strategy for success. After taking the quiz, you'll receive a tailored guidance on how to embody your most confident, magnetic version of yourself. We'll be doing that. Thank you. And it's perfect for anyone looking for clarity on what your biggest strengths and challenges are as an entrepreneur based on your archetype. So anyway, love it. I had so much fun with her and can't wait for you guys to hear it. So here is me and Caitlin.
Emotionally unavailable.
Hi, how are you? Sorry, I hope you weren't sitting there long because I went over and I was looking at your fucking profile again. And I was laughing over one of the title suggestions that you gave. Fired by Elon, aligned by astrology. I was like, love this shit. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Man, your pictures on your Podmatch profile are very fierce.
Thank you.
I really like it a lot. Why? I'm just opening random windows over here.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna turn off my can I turn off my note taker mid?
I don't know. Not everybody has one. I can kick it out.
Yeah, kick it. You can kick it out.
I'll try. I've never done that, but okay. Look, it's gone. Bye, note taker. Ooh, I love your background too. What the fuck?
Thank you. I made that. It's like white tapes that I bought off of
Yes.
Craigslist and put on a wall, and some of them have fallen down and I need to like put them back up, but it's just hanging like in I have like a dining / kitchen area, and this has
Yeah.
become my like podcast background.
I'm in my bedroom and
Mhm.
I keep thinking, because I was on someone else's podcast the other day and I was like, I like the way they did that. You could tell it was like a home office.
Mhm.
And the way they did their background was really cool. And I used to have, it's been blank. And then I put up these fucking cheetah pictures here, but they were like pretend sexy. Like the cheetahs are like looking, they made me laugh so hard. But a couple people were like, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of distracting. And I was like, what? This shit's hilarious. And it's not a real background. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, when I finally get my fucking room clean, we should rearrange. And I have a perfect way that I could do a background. But I mean, I don't have the fucking money to go buy that shit right now. So whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
I have like my office, I have plans for like redoing it so that because I just have like open shelves so you can see all the shit behind my computer.
Yes,
and I'm like, if that was actually like built-ins where stuff could be behind cupboards, like then I could just sit at my desk and it would be great. But otherwise it like looks, no matter how many times I reorganize the shelves, it still just looks like chaotic and messy and like not and distracting.
I totally get that. And like so we have a home office, but A, it's not carpeted, and B, my husband also like is self-employed, so he does a lot of work we can't share that space. I considered dividing half of it, but oh my God, it would be such a small fucking, I don't know. He was supposed to build me a goddamn she shed and he hasn't yet, so whatever. So I was looking, okay, so you do astrology or use astrology along with other tools, but okay, maybe I'm going to say this wrong, but like to really help people tap into their best energy that really matches them, like get into alignment on how you're going to present your product to the world. And most of your product really being you. Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that your whole business can be an extension of you. Like a lot of people struggle, especially when they're trying to move. A lot of people feel this call to move into entrepreneurship, but then it's very difficult to separate or to not separate like a business and then yourself. And so like I'll hear a lot of times like, well, I've heard I'm supposed to do it this way, or like these are the rules of like that I'm supposed to follow. Whether
a marketing specialist told you that. Yes.
Oh my God, the amount of like courses or like people even on social media with different rules and different like this is how you do things. And so it makes your business feel like this separate thing that you have to follow all these rules in order to be successful, when in reality, like, I mean, authenticity has been and alignment, both are words that are used a lot right now of like, that's what people are paying attention to. The more that there's AI, the more that there's all these things that can be created by not a human, like people want to connect with other humans. They don't want to connect with like, here's more facts. Like we're actually in an age where you don't need to retain information, right? Because you can ask ChatGPT for you. So
literally,
it's less about like retaining facts or doing things perfectly. It's more about embodying who you are and what your magic is, and tapping into those rhythms and infusing that not just in your offers, but in your daily life and how you move in general. Like, how are you living to support your own embodiment?
Don't you think? Like, there really shouldn't be that much difference in how you're showing up in one way versus how you're showing up in another. I agree. And you know what's hilarious about this is just now I was having a minor existential crisis, very minor, but I was walking around and like, this is day 3 of like just this entire week. I don't even know if I've washed my face. I've taken showers, so like I'm sure my face got hit by water, but like I just don't feel like it this week. I just don't, and that's kind of rare for me, but I just don't feel like fucking putting makeup on right now. And it's because I'm recording a little earlier this week, but the ADHD shit, it just makes me not, I can't do it. So anyway, I was just thinking and I was like, man, Melissa, like this is your brand. Like, you're supposed to be representing and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like, your brand is that you show up messy if that's the way you need to show up. Like, that's what your brand is. I'm truly, I'm not trying to be an influencer. The problem is you kind of have to become one in some way for any sort of platform, but I'm not trying to influence people with which fucking products I'm wearing.
Right.
You know
That's not your embodiment. Like, your embodiment is that you show up boldly in who you are, and that you connect with other people, and you create these conversations and a safe space for people to have these conversations. And part of that is showing up exactly how you are. I mean, we were just talking, like, I have very polished, like, sick photos, but also, like, I sometimes am showing up in blue light glasses with my hair in a messy bun. And that's just, I have the same energy and aura and embodiment that I'm showing up with. But it can be in different modes, right? So, like, showing all the sides of yourself is part of that embodiment. Like, in order to be able to be, I feel like there's a progression from, like, authenticity to embodiment, because you can be authentic at any stage of self-awareness, right? Because you're in that moment, you're in the point that
that's the true you right there.
Right, exactly. But moving towards embodiment is then going and doing all the self-discovery work to really understand and have clarity and conviction and confidence in, like, who you are at your core, and the pieces that are, like, unwavering by things that happen externally, right? So, like, you have your own core essence and how you operate, and once you can see all of that, the light, the shadow, all the things, then you can embody that and say, like, this is how I move in all situations. These are, like, the core values that I have, the core tenets that I have, my, like, core talent, my core skills. Like, these are all things that are inherent, and then I can do a whole bunch of things with that. But I have full, like, confidence and acceptance, and, like, that feels like almost like a force field that grows, right? So that I'm not being, like, battered around by external things, because I always have that,
you
like,
learn
source
how to
of
put
truth.
that up. Yes, absolutely. And also, like, to be very honest, it used to require me to put makeup on and fix my hair and stuff to get into that, like, bad bitch energy that, like, I'm trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Not bad.
You cosplay
sometimes it's bad bitch energy. Sometimes it's, whatever. But in my, like, best self, where I'm just feeling the best and ready to connect with people and blah, blah. It did used to, like, I had to make the outsides match the insides to light up the insides. Sometimes that happens for me now. And sometimes I can just wake up and want to be fucking lazy until it's time to record, like the last 3 days. And that's that. I mean, and I do want to celebrate that level of growth, because, like, this video is going to go on YouTube. I don't give a fuck if I have that many followers or not. There was a time I wasn't walking out of my house looking like this, let alone a fucking video. You know what I mean?
That's that detachment from the external, right? So, like, and I have a whole philosophy around Outfit Alchemy, and now I started with dopamine dressing. And now I'm, like, moving more into, like, no, I want, like, yes, dopamine dressing is a great tool to be, like, to pump you up, right? You can, once you know your core energy, you can be like, okay, I want to embody this version of myself versus that version of myself. And you can do that through, like, cosplaying, right? You can be like, okay, today I'm a motherfucking superhero. Or today I'm an indoor cat. Like,
I love it. Yes, exactly. Like, whatever it is that, however you want to show up that day, it's all facets of us.
And it's all different things. So, like, with Outfit Alchemy, I use a birth chart to create a formula for, like, how you dress, like, naturally, and how you dress to like, enhance your energy. So I'll use myself as an example. I'm a Cancer rising. So your rising sign is really about that utility that you need. So, like, as a Cancer rising, I need things to be comfortable. I need the fabric to be soft. I need to feel, like, secure in them. Like, I love not having to wear a purse. So, like, I need pockets because I want to feel like my stuff is secure, but that I am hands-free. Like, all of that is Cancer energy. I want to feel, like, cozy and at home in my own clothes. But then my midheaven is in Aries in the 10th house. And so I like bold colors. I like unexpected outfits. I like things that are like very like trailblazy, like different.
I
Like
was about to say
unique.
individual is like trend setting almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm drawn to brands that support that vibe.
Right.
But the combination of them together can be like, you know, this is like a soft set, but it's like a checkered, what I'm wearing today, like a checkered, it's got like a cute pattern with an unexpected colorway. And I like even accept like this is like just being around the house kind of outfit, but it's comfy, but it's still bold. Like I've got my blue light accessories. Like it feels like me. And so there's all these
TikTok shop, by the way.
No, this is from one of my favorite brands, Dressed in Lala, out of California.
Okay.
Amazing stuff. Just really like cool, comfy, high quality, embodied clothing. Very, very aligned with my ethos, that brand is.
I love that.
But there's all these different ways to like use your chart to then enhance different areas of your life that then impact your business. So with Outfit Alchemy, like when I started like diving into that and using, same as you, using dopamine dressing as a way to like embody almost this like other character. But then like the more I figured this out, I was like, well, that character is actually just me, but that's the version of me that's like, I'm here, I'm ready to get on a stage. I'm here, I'm ready to do a photo shoot. I'm here, I'm ready to do whatever. And then that just expands your inner, I see like our energy is almost like a center beam of light in our body. And when we're in this stage of self-discovery where we don't have complete clarity and confidence, it's almost like a force field that's like going up and then like shrinking back in, right? Like it can get kind of battered by external things, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram and being like, well, they did it better, whatever, all those things then shrink your, that like energy field, right? So then the more things that you do to bolster your own energy and your own embodiment, it like goes out like a force field, and then nothing can like, not nothing, but it's a lot harder to like feel battered by life, right?
Exactly. I totally
because
get
you're
that.
so in your own power and you can move environments and everything, but you're still so embodied.
Yeah. And man, it's wild when you get there. Like, especially like it was weird, the different parts of my personality. So I'm an Aries rising and I'm a Gemini sun and Leo moon. It's a very interesting combination. And then, so what, I'm also a Gemini Venus. So there's just a lot of shit, you know? Obviously I have a lot of different sides to me, but it was weird because I was a very, very, very insecure person my whole life in a lot of areas. Some areas, not so much, like, especially once I realized I wasn't stupid and just had trauma brain and could go to college and do the things. I did that. Very confident in like my intelligence. I used to a little too much, like a little, I was showy about it because that was all I had. Right. And then, I wasn't afraid to wear what felt good, but I was afraid to hop on a trend. I mean, you're probably younger than me, but when capri pants became a thing, I'll let you know, it took me 3 full years to wear them because every time I'd look at them, I'm like, I don't know, it's just so weird. It's the way my daughter responds to them now. Every time I show, she's like, they're just like, where's the, you know, and I'm like, it's fucking capri. But I remember having the same reaction and I could not, I mean, fucking leggings took years for me. And then now, like, I'm just totally like, I wear what the fuck I want, you know, like if it feels good, I love it. And
do you know what your midheaven is?
Capricorn.
That's why.
Yeah.
You're stubborn. You've got to see that something externally is successful before you jump on it.
Yeah. Every time. I'm always like, well, and you know what it is too. I needed to see it on what I perceived as my body type.
Yeah.
A lot. I had to see a lot of different people wearing it and see it on all kinds of body types and be like, they all look good. Okay.
Yeah, you needed the data. You needed the data
Yes.
so that you could see you could envision yourself in that outfit. And so that because Capricorn midheaven is only going to like, never going to settle for like partial when it comes to outfit alchemy. Like, it's like, you want to externally like reflect when you have that clarity of who you are, you want to externally reflect what's going on inside, knowing that that's enough. But until you have that internal self-worth, all of that is dictated by external validation. And so Capricorn midheavens, until they have that inherent self-worth, can look around and be like, no, but is it real? Like, will it really work for me? Like, will I appear as like successful and smart and capable as I like want to be, thinking that it's the package that matters? And then that for you is directly in conflict with your Aries rising of like wanting to be able to dress in ways that you can be more active, you can move around. Like, it's more about being
baby. This is my uniform, I swear to Christ. I've been wearing these every day since like last May.
Yep.
Swear to God, every day.
Yeah, because and then we each come up with sort of like and a lot of times it's unintentional, like a uniform that is like like, here's the types of things that I wear that embody both of these things together. That makes sense, but there's like an evolution there, right? Like there was probably a period of experimentation in the like, does this feel safe to wear? This thing, do I still feel like smart and powerful and like myself, or does this feel like someone else's persona?
Oh my God, you're embarrassing me and you don't even know this, but I used to fucking try out an outfit. Like, I'd be like, I'm just gonna wear this to Walmart real quick, just see how I feel. Like, you know, see what the energy response is to this.
Yeah,
I can't explain that to anyone, but like, you get it. But I would go and I'd be like,
experimentation
phase. I got it. Yes,
I remember the first day that I like wore a crop top, like a Fabletics sports bra as a top. And I wore it out with leggings and this denim jacket. And I was like, this feels like me. I was like going to meet friends for drinks, and the whole ride there, I was like, I should turn around. I should change. Like, people are going to think I'm like ridiculous. Like, how dare I show like my belly? How dare I show like my actual body shape? Like, who am I?
You're not trying to hide who you are. Gross.
And then and I showed up and everyone was like, did you do something different? Like, you look amazing. They were responding to my energy of being more me. Yep. And then ever since then, I'm like, I don't try on outfits for like flattery. I try, like, do they make me feel more like me? And that's really like everything in my life. It's not just outfits. I'm like, does this morning routine make me feel more like me? Does this, do I have certain days that I meet with clients, and I have certain days that are like just for me, just for creativity, just for rest. Like, I'm doing now everything based on how does it support my own energy and embodiment. And it's a completely different way of living.
No, it is. And boy, especially when you're an entrepreneur, this has been the evolution for me. Is at first I had very wide open availability for both clients and podcast recordings. Because at that point, I was still begging people to come on the show.
Yeah.
And then I had a post hit on Threads for guests and 80 people scheduled. Okay. I had a lot of windows for them to schedule in. So I got them all knocked out really quick. And I was like, holy fuck.
And then you're like, now I need a nap for a month.
I never intended to record for 7 hours a day, ever, or a mix of clients and recording and it equaling 7 hours. I was fucking exhausted. I even had a weekend availability. Those filled up. Like, I was like, oh my God. And I was like, it's fine. So I went and just changed my availability, knocked all those appointments out. It was great. I was like, okay, I guess, I do need to remember that my life is going to get busier and busier with the more success. So it's fine. It's fine. But that did tell me right away, I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to believe that it takes that level of pressure to reach the level of success I want. If it didn't feel yummy, it's not for me. So I was like, I changed my availability. I just changed it again. Like I realized Mondays don't need to be full days for me. And I have to see evening clients on Mondays. So I like fucking took everything off for Mondays. I will squeeze someone in on a Monday if I have to, but that's it. There's one thing that I have to talk to somebody about on Mondays. You know, like that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's
I just know I'm
so I have
tired.
another formula that I work with, flow formula, that is all about how to align your energy to the days of the week.
That's
And
what I do for myself. Yes.
and what's most optimal. And so, I mean, Mondays for everybody in general, it's ruled by the moon. It's more about like what you need to be nurtured. So for everyone, it's what you need to be nurtured. And then you can find where the moon is ruled by Cancer. So wherever Cancer is in your chart, that also like doubles down on it.
Cancer's in my 4th house.
Yeah. So you need to be home and cozy and like.
Yay. See, and I learned about this last summer about the alignment of the days. And I was so like, damn, before I even knew I knew, because back when I was a gym rat, that was a long time ago, but I was one of those 4 a.m. bitch asses, okay, who also couldn't not speak in that 6 times in a conversation that I got up at 4 for the gym. Yeah. Anyway, so when I was doing that, I bought into the hustle bro a little bit on the never miss a Monday, but then all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to do this on them. Like I take Mondays off. I would do a weekend day, but I was like, no, I don't feel like starting my week exhausted because I went and hit the gym when I was already tired, because I never get the right amount of sleep on Sunday night.
Oh
ever.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was on to something. I didn't even know.
Your rising sign is like your whatever day that relates to is your like orientation day. If your rising sign is like the helm of your ship and how you operate through life, like your rising sign day is your day for reorientation. I like for that week. Again, I'm a Cancer rising. So Monday, I need to like literally wake up on a Monday. I could have completely different thoughts of how my week is going to be on Sunday, because guess what? My vibe is going to change every 2.5 days with the moon. And so I need that Monday orientation to be like, feel into the week and be like, what do I need today? What do I need like to move forward with this week? Like, what do I need to do today? And sometimes that is doing some work, but usually not client work. Sometimes that's resting. Sometimes that's doing something creative. Sometimes that's cleaning it's whatever I need to feel like safe and nurtured. For you, because you're an Aries rising, right? That's what you said. So your day is Tuesday. So your orientation day is Tuesday. And I'm guessing like Tuesday is action-oriented Aries, like whatever actions you take on the Tuesday probably set up what you do for the next 6 days. Like
you don't even know how much shit I got done yesterday.
Yeah.
I woke up and I was like, today's the day. All right.
Yeah.
Got through my to-do list.
Yep. Yeah. And then that will then open up, okay, like what's the next cycle for the next week? Because you're like, well, here's what I got done. Here's what I still have to do. Like, and you can use the different, you can use your big 3. So you said Leo moon. So I mean, Sunday is the day for you to nurture your emotions and nurture your like whatever is soul giving, whatever gives like
Sunday fun day. I make sure I get fun in on Sundays.
Yeah, because that feeds your soul, that feeds your like emotional, like Leo moons love to like feel connection, creativity, like literally bask in the sun. Like that is, so that day is like for you to do that.
Yeah. And I kind of, so because of the Saturday thing, I'm trying to integrate cleaning my house on Saturdays, but I just don't want to. I don't want to do that shit on Saturdays. But then it doesn't do that.
The thing is, you still have to follow like the rhythms. Like it's not like every Saturday I'm like rigid and cleaning my house, right? But what I try to do is Saturday morning before I do anything else, I will look at like what are the things that I have been putting off all week that like could be like scheduled.
Uh-oh, you're frozen.
Oh.
You frozen now. Sorry. Yeah. You're good. I was gonna switch internets really quick. It might kick us out. Well, it's not even showing up. Fuck. Oh, here we go. It might kick us out. We're good. Okay. We're good.
We're back?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. So yeah,
that's a great, okay, I like that. Where it's like if there's something that's needing to be done that you feel like you can accomplish, just go ahead and get it done before you fucking do anything. Okay, I like that.
yeah,
And
because
intuitively, that's what I've tried
Saturday.
to do, but I put so much pressure on myself sometimes.
Well, and you don't have to do everything on a Saturday. Just the Saturday energy is that it's going to support you in doing like those tougher things. Like that's where the discipline comes in, right? Or like
Yeah.
anything foundational that's going to support the rhythms of your life. So things that especially things that I was putting off, like if I was like, oh shit, I have to like grab all my documents for tax return, like I did on a Saturday morning, because I was like, the Saturn energy is going to help me through this one task. And then what's amazing about that is once you do the one task or the one small thing, like you're almost like immediately rewarded. Like I always have a great rest of the day if I like just did the one small thing.
Yes, it makes me so happy. I'm like, God damn, I am killing it. I am killing this shit. Look at me. Like, what was I stressing about? And I no longer like really give myself shit once it's done. I'm not like, see, if you had just done that 6 days ago, because I just really believe in the timing of things, and I'm really leaning in to energetic cycles. I'm not going to doubt those anymore. Like it creeps up, whenever how it'll hit you, like, am I doing enough? Am I, whatever. And I'm like, well, you know what? Like if I'm not, I just have to accept that, because I could do more, but not in a way that aligns with living a life I'm in love with, like these like just fucking the tasks that are so monotonous. I don't want to add more of those. Like, I don't mind doing any of the shit for my podcast. Like, I have a pretty good workflow for that. I will say starting to upload on YouTube has created some issues, because I didn't realize how long it takes to upload shit like that. But otherwise, but also what I did to remedy that was those will get uploaded when they get uploaded. And I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on that. But just like, okay, how do I feel right now? What can I give without judgment, without expectations? What am I capable of accomplishing right now? And I don't want to add in a bunch of shit that just makes me unhappy to do that. I mean, honestly, that's the reason I'm not taking any more therapy clients right now. I decided that to make the type of impact that I want to make, one-on-one recurring isn't going to be the way for me. It's a way to make income. It's a way to light myself and others in this way, but I'm not going to max out that. I don't want to. Yes, I love being a therapist, but I won't love it if I'm doing it too much, because I never feel dread when it comes to a podcast recording. Sometimes I do feel dread for a therapy appointment, because I'm having to give a part of myself differently, and I don't want to add to that. And there's several different tweaks I keep making like that, because I'm like, no, I believe in my worth and my value. And I know that as long as I continue to live in an aligned way, that shit's going to be fruitful. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know if it's going to be my current offers that take off, or if it's something else is going to spark. I don't really give a shit. I just keep doing what comes to me, and I'm learning to slow the fuck down sometimes, and actually think through a plan before that's how I did this podcast in pure Aries rising form. I said podcast. Okay. Now, Google. How am I going to do this? And that's why I love
that's your part of your magic, right? Like part of your magic,
exactly.
An Aries rising and a Gemini sun is moving fast and like figuring it out as you go along, right? And that's where part of your magic is.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Variety. You need to be able to initiate a lot, which every time you do a podcast episode is a mini initiation. It's also tapping into your Gemini communication. So like finding those things that match the energy in your chart of what you are naturally good at and drawn to. A lot of times what people run into is they're like, well, that seems too easy. Well, yeah, the magic that's in your chart should be easy.
We're taught we have to suffer.
Naturally feel good.
Yeah.
We don't have to
see, and I use astrology very like big six, because that's my I am learning. I'm a student of astrology, but like big six I can give you a pretty good rundown on. Otherwise,
Mhm.
I'm still learning and I don't pretend to be like your level. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I've been like studying and whatever of like how to utilize my energies the best. And yeah, I think, like I said, because we've been taught suffering is the only way to succeed, if it feels easy or good, we start to doubt it a little bit. And I'm over
Yeah.
here like, you know what? I'm just not doubting shit anymore. But I think that really, I think when you get to that level of consciousness of like, I'm the magic. I'm not
Yeah.
waiting on an arbitrary force. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not waiting on,
Yeah.
like, my religious trauma said that I had to wait for God to reward me, you know, or stop punishing me for being a bad human, you know, like all this
Mhm.
programming I've received. And now I'm just like, no, no, no. I am fundamentally supported on this earth, and I
Mhm.
have everything I need right here. I was even just before
100%.
this, I was sitting there getting in that energy of like, because you know, I mean, I try not to talk about this too. But I like to be very open about my entrepreneur journey, but you know, I've learned my words carry a lot of power in my world. So like, I don't want to like speak negatively, but let's just
Mhm.
say financially, we're not there yet, right?
Mhm.
So I was like sitting there, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out where my blocks are with money, and I absolutely know, I can feel it like 5 levels down where I'm still waiting in this mindset of proving myself to the universe that I'm
Yep.
worthy. And it's like,
Yep.
no, bitch, that's the whole fucking point, is you were supposed to prove it to you. Like the universe isn't
Yeah.
waiting, it's waiting for you to realize you have
Well,
it.
yeah.
Get it. Get it. Just
It's
do it.
waiting
Get
for
up.
you
Go
to
get it.
take action that says that you know that you're worthy. Like
Right.
a lot of
Absolutely.
people will wait for the
You think you can
clarity
trick
or
the
like
universe and you can't.
yeah, a lot of people will wait for like a sign or a signal or ask like I mean how many times like even I've gotten caught in cycles of asking the tarot cards the same questions and I'm getting the same
I hate
answers
you
and
for
it's like
that. Yes.
you
Yeah.
don't get the clarity from the question, you get the clarity from the action and what you learn from taking the action. And there's two types of resistance that people run into. And it works in life and business, but there's either you're feeling resistance to something because you're learning a lesson that you need to learn, or you're like, but you can feel it feels different in your body when you're reaching a growth edge and then you're like feeling
Yes.
resistance to push through that. That feels very
Yeah.
different than a this just isn't fucking for me. Like they feel two very different ways.
Very different. Very different.
and
No, you're so right.
and unfortunately, a lot of people take the this isn't for me as like, well, I just need to like fight through this. I need to like, this is the challenge that I
Uh-huh.
need to overcome to get to what I want. And that's not true. Like there is as
Absolutely.
much shedding that needs to happen as there is inviting in. That's the other thing. A lot of people will just try to add. And if you're not removing anything, then you're not creating the space for things to come in. So,
God,
especially
I
in the
hate that
last couple of
lesson.
weeks,
I hate that lesson.
I know, right? Well, it's been very like, I mean, this year, especially with Mars being in Cancer, and like we were
Oh
all like
God, that wrecked
handcuffed
me.
by
Yeah.
that. And then with the eclipse season, and even lately with the power struggles between the Mars Pluto opposition. And we just had yesterday Mercury meeting up with Chiron in Aries. So there's all these old, like crunchy bits that are coming up, and these questioning of like, am I really on like, do I know what the fuck I'm doing?
Right.
Am I good enough? Is this going to work out?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
anytime those things come up, first of all, anxiety speaks in like you like, why don't you do this? You have to do that. Whereas you're like your intuition is much more of a like whisper, like this is how it is. Like there's never
Yeah.
your intuition never speaks in the third person. Like
Right.
it's like you should do this.
My ears
That's
are both ringing. That's crazy. Yeah,
that's
no, I
anxiety.
absolutely. That's why I was like thinking yesterday. I mean, you know, getting into the energy I was telling you about this morning, but this has been like, you know, this week, this has kind of been the theme for me, is just like understanding I do know what my intuition sounds like. And I'm just like the parts that are you know, what if I always know, like, if there's like a, oh my God moment, it's not probably the good voice, you know, that's just
Yeah.
your fear. But like, if I'm in a, no, this feels good. Like, I've gotten to where I believe that if it feels good, it's for me. But like, I started a membership program, right? And again, I did it in very areas or anyway. And I thought I'd be able to figure it out as I go, the way I did everything else. And it wasn't making me happy. Like, after 2 months, I was like, this feels like a lot of pressure. I don't know how to
Mhm.
show up in this space. It doesn't feel good. I was putting it off. And then, you know, boy, if I delay something, I fucking get really overwhelmed very quick. And it was
Mhm.
just a constant weight on me. And I finally
Yeah.
last month just cut it. I said, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll make sure you get refund. I mean, I didn't have that many members, but like,
Yeah.
this isn't, if I do this, and like, I feel like I will at some point have something, but it's just not going to be the way I was doing it. I hated the fucking site that I chose to do it on. It was very
Mhm.
cumbersome, hard to figure out. And that's not, I need to be able to do shit quick. I can't be sitting there using all this
Yeah.
brain energy trying to figure out a program. And so
No,
I'm
no.
not going to hate myself for that, you know, like, it wasn't working. And that's the part I'm getting really comfortable with, is just deciding, like, you know, I think maybe this, I was supposed to learn from this, or it was a stepping
Mhm.
stone to something, but like, this is not it right now.
Yeah.
This is not
I
it.
mean, the
I
universe
will.
works non-linearly. So it's not like, okay, do this community, then your community will blow up and you'll just be on that. Like, no, especially like Aries
Right.
rising. Like, you're going to initiate a whole bunch of shit, and half of it's not going to make sense until later, when magically you'll be initiating something that you're like, that's why I did all of these other experiments that I didn't end up like going with, because the what I learned in doing them now is creating this thing that actually feels aligned. And there's this like releasing of the attachment to, like, just because you put energy in creating something doesn't mean that that has to stay forever. I'm constantly
Right.
changing what I'm offering, the access to me, how you like enter my world. I'm constantly building new things and being like, no, I hate that. Like, and
Yeah.
that is part of
Well,
the
you have the
process.
freedom to be able to experiment like that.
Yeah. That's part of the process in honing in, like, what is the right cadence and delivery. Like, I now have a much clearer picture through all of these experiments. I have a much clearer picture of how much capacity I have for one-on-one versus how much I have capacity for one-to-many live versus
Mhm.
like passive. And so now I can build offers around those things and say, okay, like, I'm like, this is my product mix. Like, then you can start getting into the
Yes.
more traditional business language. I'm a manifester, so I have to learn how everything works, and then I can like completely unravel it, like, and do it my own way. But
Right.
so I have
Yeah.
all of this like business strategy, corporate America background on how to do stuff. And then I'm like, cool, that's not how I'll be doing stuff.
Yeah, you're like, okay, excellent for what not to do. Great, great,
Yeah.
great, great. Yeah, I'm a generator, so it's hard because I don't always know how to initiate something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, I will do it, and then I think where I get stuck sometimes is looking for that external validation that what I'm doing is the thing I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so far, I don't get a lot of external validation for most of the things that I do. But what I'm doing now is just relying on, well, if it gives me that God damn, I love this shit feeling, I don't give a fuck what the outcome is. That's for
Right.
me
That's
anyway.
the key. For generators, that's the key. It's like that you're lit up doing what lights you up. And then that you manifestors, I get like all this future downloads of like what something could be in 3 years. Like generators,
Mhm.
you only are like, here's where I'm at, and here's what I think the next step is. Does it light me up or not?
Yep.
And then you
Yep.
one by one, like, again, it's not linear for either of us, but like the way that you operate, if you get too much future information, then you shut
Yep.
down, you get overwhelmed, because
Yes.
it's like,
I'm
I
like, I
can't
can't do
take
that.
action in the present. Like, it's too many things. And
Right.
so there's different ways that different energy types work. And I would say the generators that I work with, like, I serve as their initiator, right? Like we'll have
Mhm.
conversations on like, I'll get future information on like, well, this feels like it could be this. And then either it will light you up or it won't. Like, and then then you take it from there and like build the thing. And so I have a virtual assistant who's a generator, which I specifically was like, I need a generator because I'm living in 3 to 5 years down the line. And
Yeah, and you're the ideas person. You're the ideas person and you need help executing. Yeah.
Exactly. And but like, I mean, the limit does not exist on the amount of ideas that I have and like how to like expand on someone else's vision and like that's where my magic is.
So
But
much
it's
so that you're
also-
like, well, let me not overwhelm you with all that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I have a business partner who's a manifesting generator for the yearly summit that we throw. And I will tell her, I will literally, as I'm being a good manifestor informing, I will be like, this is what I'm seeing like 3 to 5 years down the line. We don't need to worry about that right now, but I'm just like, I'm going to like drop these little nuggets, like let that not derail us for like this current working session. But like, this is what I'm seeing down the line.
I gotta get it out of my brain. Yes, absolutely. And you know, honestly, also I'm an emotional authority. So where it gets tricky with the does it light me up is it will light me up for about 24 hours. And
you
then
need to
I'm
wait
like,
72.
the next day I'm like, and that's kind of what happened with the membership is that like I felt so sure, so fucking sure. I mean, I received this download in the shower and I was like, yes. And that's why I'm not mad at myself for doing it. And in fact, it helped me create one of the workbooks that I sell. But like I did learn some shit from that. A lot of things actually. And what I keep feeling the intuition, the little, you know, drops of wisdom that you'll just like hear or feel. Really what I keep is that I'm learning what I do love to do. Because I love everything. I really do.
Well, you're a Gemini.
I can get into
literally
for a week.
have fun. If you're like learning something new, if you're in a new environment, if you're doing like you are excited, you're happy, like you're happy learning something new. But that's where that you really need it's like more of like a 48 to 72 hour window where I would like literally write an idea down, put it in your calendar, 72 hours from when you first think of it. Put all the stuff in there and then 72 hours later, be like, am I still excited about that? Because if you're not, then it's not a long-term thing. And then you can be like, okay, what are the things that I got? I know I got this download for a reason, but this isn't to build the scalable thing. What in this process do I want to play with? And then you can it's not that you wouldn't have been building the community, but you can set the expectation that like, I don't need to actually build this to the scale that maybe I thought I did. I just need to experiment with this type of thing.
Right. I love the 72-hour thing. Cause so I did a human design consultation with someone who I'm now like participating in a summit with, but understanding some of the generator shit was really important to me because I didn't know that. It made so much sense. But so I did start to pause a little bit after that, but because I also have a fucking Virgo stellium, I need explicit instructions. When somebody gives me an exact number, it makes my heart rest. Like I'm like, okay, great. I know exactly what metric I'm supposed to use. So when someone says something like 72 hours, I'm like, and you don't even understand that I will set an alarm for exactly 72 hours from this.
Yeah. No, I sure do. I know you will.
I'm absolutely going to do that. But like, I mean, even like there's this lady I follow. I've been using the word chick lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, there's this lady I follow on TikTok and she talks a lot about this kind of stuff, just like, you know, how to dress for success, you know, using your rising sign or your Venus or whatever. And there's lots of different things that I've learned along the way. I just lost my train of thought. But like, I do know, it was like a fitness thing. That's what it was. The first time I heard, like, if you have a Virgo stellium and that's where your Mars is, like, you do need like something that you can like measure your success on. Like, I do. Like, that's why, I mean, I have to be so careful because like I went into full blown eating disorder doing keto and using that fucking macro calculator. You know what I mean? Because, and I also did intermittent fasting. And so if my window closed and I hadn't gotten to eat that day, my window was closed. You don't open the window. You just don't eat that day. And I did that. Like I did lots of things like that. And I wasn't healthy. Like, and you know how it is when you lose weight and everyone's like, oh, you look so good. And I'm like completely dying.
Like, no, this
and
is a red flag.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I'm actually full blown not eating. So that's fine. Oh, but don't keep not eating. Okay, great. But I get real hung up on numbers. I get real hung up. So I try to be careful because I can put too much pressure on myself too. Cause you know that perfectionism that loves Virgo. It can be really sneaky for me. It's been a battle my whole life. So like I'm trying to know how to work with that energy without it letting overtake me. You know what I mean?
I mean, the good thing is like with your emotional authority and that Virgo stellium, like you've got Virgo is so much. I mean, a lot of people like highlight the perfectionism of it all, which is something that you have to deal with, but it's also like the ultimate data collector. Like Virgos are so good at collecting information and data. And so what you notice, if you have that like urge, that like that creative urge that comes down, that download, I want to like pursue this, just saying out loud, like, I want to collect data on this for the next 72 hours before I make a decision, you'll start noticing whether there are things that are coming together or whether there's more resistance. Like that is your superpower. And I think the other thing is making sure that the metrics of success are that you set for yourselves are set by you and not by someone else. So if you like say a goal, like I'm going to, work out 3 hours a day, and that does not feel good in your body when you say it, like that's not it. Like
that's
it needs to be, it needs to be something else. And there can be, I think there tends to like be, extreme pendulum swings that happen. I mean, I did the same thing. When I left corporate America, I was like, I'm not doing any design anymore. I'm leaving behind everything that I've ever done. And I'm leaning into astrology and I want to be in this space. And I got Reiki trained. I got sound bowl certification. Like I did all this other stuff. And then a year later, I'm like, okay, wait, it's all connected to self-discovery, and all these other things I was doing in corporate America are actually like extremely helpful to like bring it all together. So that pendulum swing, it's like, where does it feel correct for you in your body? And it's going to be very difficult for you to get out of your mind and into your body because you have so much Mercury energy. But even like dancing in your kitchen, because again, that Mars energy, like a 5-minute dance in your kitchen, a 5-minute walk around the house, like something. So I'll like be like, I really just need to like take the trash out. I need to go like walk down one set of stairs, throw the trash in a bin, feel my feet in the grass, and come back inside. My whole life has changed because I'm doing one small like bit of movement that gets me out of the logical. And I don't even have a ton of Mercury energy in my chart. So for people with a lot of Mercury, those small things are so important.
Yes, like the other day, literally, it fed all parts of my personality to be like, because I try to get outside in the sun, but I don't always. And so I was like, oh my God, it's so sunny. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a fucking chair. And I looked so crazy, but I just got a chair and sat in my front yard playing on my phone for a minute because I wanted the sun on my face. I had my feet on the ground, like everything. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best fucking day. I mean, literally 5 minutes. Oh, this literally all my daughter came up and she was like, what are you doing? I'm like, she's like, okay, I want a chair. She sat, we talked. It was amazing. And sometimes I'm like, let's do a 30-second dance party. Like I'm figuring out what works for me. And I mean, I guess Mercury is why it was so fucking hard to learn how to experience a feeling or experience my body. Like I talk all the time.
Brain.
Yes.
Yeah. You're so in the logical. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will tell you, like through a lot of practices, I'm pretty present now. I really am. I've learned my brain isn't really a safe place to be. I mean, I just, through my trauma and whatever, like that's not where I need to be unless I'm actually trying to solve a problem. I stay the fuck out of there. PMS, which I have right now, which is why I'm tired, I'm sure. Like it will cause a lot of overthinking and whatever. And I've just learned I will be curious and make sure there's nothing I need to like observe to learn or grow from the thoughts. But I'm like, let's put you to bed for now. I'm going to have to go do whatever to get out of my brain. But you're right. It doesn't take very much at all to get like, now that I have the tools, I know how to do it, you know, but for so long, I really didn't. But something that you said earlier made me think about how much trouble I have had. Like people will sometimes help me with, you know, with things or like offer their advice or opinion. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right for me. You know, like marketing people, especially like do this. And I'm like, I've had suggestions on my website and I'm like, I feel you, but it is such a good representation of me. And I just at this point am not willing. I have overhauled it completely, but I like it a lot. And that's what I have to like my product. I don't want, I don't care if it's the best way to do it, you know?
Well, and
but
for you,
I feel like sometimes I get advice from people that's like, you're not spiritual, are you?
Well, also like advice for a generator, like generators love to respond. So like, but that response can be like, nah, not for me. Like so if you're ever in like an analysis paralysis or a freeze or like you don't know what to do next, you need to give yourself something to respond to so that you can then have that response. But like trusting that response. So, I mean, I use tarot cards. You could ask yourself out loud. You could free write journal. You could be like, does this feel like a yes or a no? And you could feel it in your body. Like there's a lot of different ways to like create that. Like you could literally say, this is what I'm like over analyzing right now. Put that into ChatGPT and have it ask you questions to respond to. Like there's so many different ways to create that cycle and that moment to be then able to be like, it's a yes or a no and take you out of that spin. But like if someone else is giving you advice and you're getting that full body, like, no, again, you can let it sit with you for 72 hours. It will likely, if it's a hard no, it'll likely still be a hard no 72 hours later. But you can be like, I mean, your response to any advice, because you're an emotional authority, can be like, I don't know if that resonates, but I need 72 hours to think on it. I'm an emotional
and I've
authority.
started using I have said to people, I haven't said 72 hours, will now, but I've started to say to people like, because I'm pretty authentic. So I'm like, listen, this sounds like a fucking great idea right now, but I already know me. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of time. And then I'm going to talk to you about it whenever I've given myself a little bit of time. Because I am a little tired of like burning out before I even begin something because I rocket launched whatever it was I was doing so fast. Like the podcast, I knew, like baby, I'm a Gemini. I've been wanting to do a podcast my whole fucking life. And my Leo moon ass was trying to create a stage for myself for 44 years. Okay. So like very fitting for me. And also, and I feel like this is I think my experience with the Leo qualities is that most people with prominent Leo placements have felt silenced and invisible because their big wounds are, I need to be seen. I need to be understood. I need you to understand me. And so for so many years, that's how I felt too. And I felt silenced. And so whenever I decided like, just go for it, because I had been asking a friend to do a show with me because I didn't think I was interesting enough. And I was like, oh, well, we'll just talk. But like I wasn't really thinking guests or whatever, but she wasn't like really feeling it. And I was like, I'm doing it. And I just said, go. Like perfection, like perfect is the enemy of good. I'm going to go. And I have loved doing that because it allows me today to sit here with no makeup on, because I am a very no frills podcast. I've said that from the beginning. I'm not getting all ate up. Like, am I starting to consider a background? Yeah. But that background's not going to make this show any better or worse. This show is fucking phenomenal. You know, like I love this show. I love everything about it. I wouldn't change the format or anything. I mean, sometimes I get ideas for like maybe a whole season could be like this type of thing or whatever. But my and immediately my intuition's like, well, not yet. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. Like what you're doing is working. feels good, it's good. Like, you don't have to put all this energy into like how to change things.
Yeah, don't get nervous because it feels easy that you have to add more shit. Like
exactly. I'm like, this feels too good. Let's make it complicated, please.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Well, I think the other thing with Leo, especially Leo moons, that they like are misunderstood is that there is, yes, this like craving to be like seen and heard. But I think a lot of people misinterpret that as like needing to be on stage. And the reality is that it's like the stage that you create for yourself. So like that stage can be like you with an acoustic guitar in a living room in front of your friends, or it could be playing a stadium tour. Like it could be whatever stage you want. And so like this feels like it's a stage that you feel safe on, that you feel seen and heard on, that you can feel like yourself on. And so I think that I hear a lot from like especially introverts who have major Leo placements. They're like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to like do that. I'm like, well, you can create any stage that you want, but you do to feel emotionally secure in who you are and what you're doing and moving forward. You need to have some sort of format where you can feel seen and heard. That could even be one friend, that could be a partner, that could be like, that could be so many different things. Right. But if you don't have anyone in your life that you feel seen and heard by, like you are going to feel not okay. You are going to feel like like the world is crumbling, that you're walking on like cracking ice and that anything could collapse at any minute. So I think like you've already set up this beautiful foundation for yourself and this stage. And then you can build on that in any way that you want because you have that ground level, like emotional security.
Yes, absolutely. Because of these types of conversations that I have every day, when I go on someone else's podcast or I did my first keynote speech, I wasn't scared of the keynote speech. I really wasn't because I knew I wasn't going to really say anything different than I'm saying in my everyday life. The format, like how am I going to put this information together and which piece am I going to spotlight for this group, that can get a little overwhelming for me because you can imagine how it is very full up here if I focus on what's in my brain, you know? And I'm like, I have all these beautiful ideas. So I kind of like the keynote speech. I was jotting down notes for months, like just, you know what, that'll be good. Type that down. And then that morning in the hotel room, I woke up early and I fucking wrote it. That was it. And that's what I do when I do summits, when I do workshops. I fucking do not finish that shit until like the hour before because it's like I kind of wait on the energy. Like I will feel the energy of the crowd before the event. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, what is feeling like the right way to do things? And I love that because I'm okay doing that. I don't feel scared to put something off to the last minute like that because I know, like I said, I'm taking little notes. I'm just learning how to organize the shit. Yeah. And I don't really want to do a canned keynote because
you know you'll get it done. You trust in your ability to get things done quickly and efficiently. And
yeah, I had no doubt. And because I've done it so many times to like wait till the last minute and then be like, okay, it all came together and it's good. And I knew it would be, but I see the ways that this show like informs every other area of my life. First of all, when I'm working with clients, I'm like, oh man, I met this fucking lady yesterday, you know, and she taught me this and I'm going to teach you that. Like really, like this was a good, because my clients all know I'm super fucking into astrology. And I'm like, either I tell them from the beginning, like, I'm not for everyone. Okay. So I'm not going to be hurt if you don't want this, but this is the way I do therapy. So I'm not going to like constantly, but like I have a Leo and I'm like, baby, that's your Leo talking. You know, I have somebody with like 6 things in Aquarius.
Yep.
I'm like, honey, and those 2 are married. So like you can imagine how fun that is, but like I'm constantly explaining that and they're open to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I have someone coming on right now. So I'm so sorry. I do this all the time, but I'm sure you know, you're not going to be surprised. I have loved this and I would love if there was any way we could stay connected, collaborate, anything. I love your energy. This has been so fun. I'd even love to have you on again. Like whatever, you know, if it feels good, let's do it.
100%. Love it.
Okay,
Let's
I'll
do
make
it.
sure I include everything that if you want to send anything over that's not included on your Podmatch profile, whatever you want included in show notes, I'm happy to do it.
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. Have a wonderful
you.
Wednesday.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, make sure you've given the show a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening to if you haven't already. And check out my website, empoweredwithmelissahepner.org, or my link tree on Instagram at melissa.hepner to check out my latest offers or workshops.
Emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable.
INDEPE and cut.